Nearly noon and nearly 21 hours at this point. We have the Fox News alert and the marathon speech against Obamacare about to end on Capitol Hill, or that's what we think. Hi, everybody. Great to have you with us. I'm Jenna Lee.
Welcome to the second hour of Happening Now. I am John Scott. We're taking a live look at the Senate floor. They are ready to end an all-night session now. There you see the Majority Leader, Harry Reid, bringing to an end Senator Ted Cruz's unofficial filibuster. Let's listen for just a moment to what's going on the Senate floor.
And so I simply want to note to the American people who have so engaged that this debate's in your hands. Ultimately, all 100 senators, all 46 Republicans, all 54 Democrats work for you. The pleas from the American people, I tell you, in Texas, are deafening. The frustration that the United States Senate doesn't listen to the people is deafening. So I would call on all 46 Republicans to unite, to stand together and to vote against cloture on the bill on Friday or Saturday, because otherwise, if we vote with the Majority Leader and with the Senate Democrats, we will be voting to allow the Majority Leader to fund Obamacare on a straight party line vote, a 51-vote partisan vote. The American people will understand that. And voting to give that power to the Majority Leader, I would suggest, is not consistent with, I believe, the heartfelt commitment of all 46 members of this conference to oppose Obamacare. The only path, if we're going to oppose Obamacare, is to stand together and oppose cloture. And I would ask for my friends on the Democratic aisle to listen to the hour of noon having arrived pursuant to the order of the Senate will be in order. The senators know better, and the Senate will be in order. Pursuant to the order of February 29, 1960, the hour of 12 noon having arrived, the Senate having been in continuous session since convening yesterday, the Senate will suspend for a prayer from the chaplain.
Well, so that ends, apparently, Senator Ted Cruz's filibuster. He and his allies took to the floor for 21-plus hours to prevent the Senate from moving forward on a spending bill that excludes the provision to defund Obamacare. He blasted the president's signature piece of domestic legislation during that 21 hours, even questioning why, if the White House thought it was so terrific, it decided to delay a key part of it, the employer mandate. Listen. Mr. President, if the representations that so many members of this body make to the American people were true, that Obamacare is terrific, is wonderful, then I would think the president would be eager to have it kick in before the election. If it were a good thing, you would want the good stuff to happen before the election and not after the election. And the fact that it was moved for big businesses is an indication of just how badly this law is failing. But the 21-plus hours of political theater, not without some lighter moments, with Senator Cruz bringing up Dr. Seuss and Star Wars. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them. Sam, I am. Jay said, redneck rule number one. Most things can be fixed with duct tape and extension cords. That's actually very true. A camel's hair brush is made of squirrel fur. I wondered if at some point we were going to see a tall gentleman in a mechanical breathing apparatus come forward and say in a deep voice, "Mike Lee, I am your father." I'm happy to yield for a question without yielding the floor.
How are you doing?
I thank the senator from Kansas, and I will tell you I am doing fabulous.
Well, it wasn't all fun and games, with Senator Cruz going after members of his own party, slamming Republican leadership.
This is the first time I've seen when Republican leadership is actively whipping the Republican conference to support Harry Reid and give him the power to enact his agenda. I've never seen that before. That, I'm quite confident, is not what Texans expect of me.
And I'm quite confident when each Republican goes back to his or her home state, it's not what our constituents expect of us. And I'm also quite confident that if and when we return home and stand in front of our constituents, if we're asked, Senator, why did you vote yes on cloture to give Harry Reid the power to fund Obamacare to gut the House continuing resolution? None of us were elected by our party leadership. We've got a different boss. So any Republican who casts a vote for cloture is saying, yes, I want Harry Reid to have the power to do that, and then I'll vote against it once it no longer matters, once it's a free symbolic vote.
Well, those snippets, some of the highlights you might have missed in that 21 hours of discussion there on the floor. Joining us now, Juan Williams, Fox News political analyst, and Michael Barone, senior political analyst at the Washington Examiner and a Fox News contributor. Michael, you've been around Washington a long time, seen a lot of things. What do you think about what Senator Cruz is now ending 21 hours of a non-filibuster filibuster?
Well, he's, in parliamentary terms, he's urging a vote against immediate consideration of a bill he claims to support. So he's a little bit tying himself up in knots. And he's certainly antagonized a lot of his fellow Republicans, not just in the Senate, but in the House as well, by calling them a surrender caucus, at least some of them a surrender caucus on the one hand. I mean, I think you can criticize Ted Cruz for attempting a futile gesture. The Congress is not going to pass and the President is not going to sign a defunding of Obamacare. This is, to some extent, theater. And I think his critics who say, you know, if there's a government shutdown, Republicans will be blamed for it, have something of a point. But at least in this 21-hour segment, you had Cruz talking about Obamacare. It's an issue that hurts Democrats and helps Republicans. And the polling suggests to me that a shutdown is not likely to be as disastrous for Republicans, that it will probably hurt both congressional Republicans and President Obama, as happened in August 2011.
He's got leadership of both parties angry at him, Juan. Harry Reid just said it was a big waste of time, and I'm not sure we learned anything new. You've also got Leader McConnell and Senator Cornyn, the number 2 Republican in the Senate, and his fellow Texas Republican, saying that they are going to support cloture, which is something that Senator Cruz does not want to do.
Well, John, I mean, a good word for Senator Cruz would be that he has, I think, in some extent, reinvented American politics in this moment, certainly Senate politics. He has risen to the top of the pile here in terms of national profile with this theatrical, as Michael said, effort. But he has really, I think, put a lot of the senior Republicans on notice that they are on the defensive here and that Cruz is on the offensive. He feels that he's raising money, stirring the grassroots. It doesn't work in traditional Washington political terms. It violates the traditions of the Senate. There's no positive outcome in terms of his goal of defeating Obamacare, and it hurts the Republican brand going into the next set of elections in the midterms. But in terms of Cruz's brand, in terms of his presidential ambitions, I think his stock has gone up.
Michael, do you agree? Does it hurt the Republican brand, this effort that he's undertaken the last 21 hours?
Well, I don't think it hurts the Republican brand to make Obamacare the #1 issue, because all the polling on that shows that that legislation is and has continued to be unpopular. So talking about that helps Republicans. If you're put in the posture of threatening to shut down the government, that's a negative posture for the party, and the Republicans can be portrayed as hard-hearted people who don't care about helping people and are allowing the government to shut down. The Pew poll suggests that that damage would not be huge. 39% say they would blame congressional Republicans in case of a shutdown. 36% say they blame the president, and that's a little extraordinary because usually individuals poll a lot better than groups, especially groups widely detested like congressional Republicans. But it does say that there's some negative for the Republicans in doing this.
Juan, as you well know, what Senator Cruz has been advocating all along is fund the government, pay for everything, just don't pay for Obamacare. I mean, that argument resonates with a lot of people.
No, according to the polls, John, it's pretty overwhelming. Even people who don't like Obamacare It's almost now, I think, 60% of Americans say this doesn't make sense to shut down the government over Obamacare. At this point, they say, you know, it's
Right,
going
but
to happen.
he's saying
so
keep it
let
open.
it happen and see happens.
He's saying keep it open, keep the government open, just don't pay for Obamacare.
Right, that's
Well,
what I'm saying.
Juan
People
is-
oppose.
All right.
Juan's right about the polling on that. They do. Most people do support delaying Obamacare a year, and 92% support eliminating the special treatment that the Obama administration is giving congressional members of Congress and congressional staffs. Republicans don't have enough Republican votes to bring that up because a lot of people want to protect themselves and their
Gentlemen,
staffs.
we have to say goodbye. We can't go on for 21 hours like Senator Cruz, but we thank you both for being here. Michael Barone, Juan Williams, thanks.
You're welcome, John.
Well, the 21-plus hour speech is not even enough to crack the top 10 of Senate all-nighters, with the longest one ever clocking in at more than 125 hours. It was back in 1960. The topic was civil rights. Nearly 3 decades later, the Senate Election Campaign Act sparked another marathon session at 57-plus hours, that beating out the all-nighter that started it all back in 1915 on the Ship Purchase Act. More recently, in 2003, lawmakers talked for 53-plus hours on judicial nominations. And rounding out the top 5 marathon speeches in the Senate, one in 1954 on the atomic energy bill.
21 hours still seems impressive.
Yeah, pretty impressive.